Hello everyone, welcome back to more of Learn Russian with Learn Russian. We're up to lesson 17. So here we have nouns in the instrumental case and first verbs of motion. And you might be asking, what are verbs of motion? They're exactly what they sound like. They're verbs like go or drive or fly or things like that. These verbs are kind of special in Russian. We'll probably find out why later. But in the meantime, here underneath you can see a sample phrase which combines both of these concepts. You have "Я иду в кино с сестрой." I go to the cinema with sister, presumably with my sister. So in this lesson you will learn the instrumental case and get a first impression about Russian verbs of motion. Key phrases: pivo s vodkой, beer with vodka; мы с другом, we are with friends; and pizza s сыром, pizza with cheese. So, as usual, let's start with a dialogue. This looks like a fun dialogue. We have people apparently in a restaurant, probably ordering something. Classical language learning scenario. Let's find out what happens.
Добрый день. Что вы будете?
Я буду бизнес-ланч. Что у вас сегодня?
Сегодня салат с беконом, томатный суп и курица с картошкой. И сок.
Хорошо.
Я тоже буду бизнес-ланч. Только без сока. Я буду чай.
Так, а я буду салат «Цезарь» с курицей, крем-суп с грибами, шашлык с соусом тартар и воду без газа.
Хорошо.
Сьюзи, ты что? Ты раньше не ела мясо?
Да, раньше я была на диете, но вчера мой врач сказал, что все хорошо, и вот, я могу есть нормально.
А какая у тебя была диета?
О, это был кошмар. Я все ела без соли, без перца, без майонеза и кетчупа. Не пила пиво, кофе. А я так люблю пиво с сосисками.
Ты из Германии, да?
Откуда ты знаешь? Да, я из Баварии.
Ну, это знают все. Пиво с сосисками – ваша традиционная еда.
А я очень люблю картошку с грибами.
Ты как русский. Мы тоже это любим.
Андрей, а это правда, что в России вы пьете пиво с водкой?
Почему только в России? Это кто как любит. Вот я вообще не пью водку.
Okay. For once we didn't start with a completely cringeworthy, awkward dialogue. It got maybe a little awkward, but not too awkward. So let's go ahead and go over this again. I'll start from the beginning, and let's take the lines one at a time. Seems pretty straightforward.
Добрый день. Что вы будете?
This is coming from the официантка, which I guess is, it's the waitress. So she says, good day. Literally, what will you be? But obviously that's what will you have, or what you will.
Я буду бизнес-ланч. Что у вас сегодня?
So Stefan says, I will be a business lunch. I assume he means I'd like to order a business lunch. What do you have today?
Сегодня салат с беконом.
Okay, today salad with, what did she say? Беконом. I guess that's bacon. So, okay, salad с беконом. Okay, and moving on.
Томатный суп и курица с картошкой.
Okay, томатный суп, tomato soup, и курица с, she said картошкой, right? Yeah, картошкой. Tomato soup and курица, chicken с картошкой, with potatoes, и сок, and juice. So Stefan says...
И сок.
Хорошо.
He says, хорошо, okay.
Я тоже буду бизнес-ланч. Только без сока. Я буду чай.
So, I also will have a business lunch, just without juice. I will have tea. Tea is chai in, like, every language in the world.
Так, а я буду салат «Цезарь» с курицей.
Okay, let's take this one step at a time. So, and I will have salad Caesar, so Caesar salad, with курицы. That's, once again, chicken. Here's курицы. Caesar с курицей.
Крем-суп с грибами.
Cream soup с грибами, so cream soup with грибами, with mushrooms.
Шашлык с соусом тартар
Shashlik, which is like shish kebab, in case you didn't know. Shashlik с соусом тартар. Shashlik с соусом тартар. You can probably guess that that's tartar sauce.
и воду без газа.
Vodu без газа. I don't know if I've mentioned this before. In Russian, when you're referring to carbonated drinks, you say it's with gas. So when you're ordering water, the waiter will usually ask if you want gaz or без газа. Без газа, without gas, means not sparkling water, non-carbonated water. And then if you want water with gas, then that means you want carbonated water.
Хорошо.
Сьюзи, ты что? Ты раньше не ела мясо?
And so Stefan is a bit surprised, and he says, Susie, her name is Susan, so he says, Susie, ты что? This literally means, what are you? But I think in this sense, the question means something more like, what's going on with you? What's up with you? Ты раньше не ела мясо. You didn't eat meat? You previously did not eat meat?
Да, раньше я была на диете.
Yes, previously I have been on a diet.
Но вчера мой врач сказал, что все хорошо. И вот, я могу есть нормально.
Okay, но вчера, but yesterday, мой врач сказал, my doctor said, что все хорошо, that everything is okay. И вот, and thereby, я могу есть нормально. I may eat normally.
А какая у тебя была диета?
А какая у тебя была диета? And how did you have, or how was your diet to you? Like, how was your diet with you?
О, это был кошмар.
We see this word kashmar a lot. It was a nightmare.
Я все ела без соли, без перца, без майонеза и кетчупа.
I everything ate, я все ела, I everything ate, без соли, without salt, без перца, without pepper, без майонеза, oh, that's really tough for Russians to eat something without mayonnaise, и кетчупа, obviously, without ketchup.
Не пила пиво, кофе.
Not drink beer or coffee.
А я так люблю пиво с сосисками.
And I so much love pivo, beer with, what did she say? Pivo with, yeah, sosiskami, which is sausages, yes.
Ты из Германии, да?
Aha. Ты из Германии? You are from Germany, yes?
Откуда ты знаешь? Да, я из Баварии.
Откуда means where from, so откуда ты знаешь, literally where from you know that, so like where did you hear that, or where did you find that out, like who told you? Да, я из Баварии. Yes, I'm from Bavaria, which of course is a German Bundesland in southeastern Germany.
Ну, это знают все. Пиво с сосисками – ваша традиционная еда.
Okay. Again, come out the stereotypes. Stereotypes are very, I don't want to be rude, but it's a bit Russian, to kind of go by national stereotypes. Anyway, ну это знают все. This knows everyone, so like everyone knows this. Pivos, once again with sosiskami, beer with sausages. It's your traditional food. And that is obviously a very popular stereotype about Bavarians, that they just spend all day eating sausages and drinking beer and making cheese whistles.
А я очень люблю картошку с грибами.
Okay, and then Stefan repeats another traditional, a Russian stereotype, I guess. And I very much like kartoshku, potatoes, с грибами, with mushrooms.
Ты как русский. Мы тоже это любим.
Андрей,
I wonder, is Stefan not a Russian? Maybe Stefan, because Stefan's kind of a German name, so maybe maybe Stefan is German as well. But he's saying he loves potatoes with mushrooms, and then Andrei says, you're so Russian. You're like a Russian. We also love those.
а это правда, что в России вы пьете пиво с водкой?
So now Susan says, Andrei, but is it true that in Russia you drink beer with vodka?
Почему только в России? Это кто как любит. Вот я вообще не пью водку.
Right. So he says, why only in Russia? Это кто как любит. This is something everybody likes. Or am I misinterpreting that? Это кто как любит. I guess it's more like it's somebody who likes it. That's for somebody who likes it. But I do not drink vodka at all. So я вообще не пью водку. I don't drink vodka at all. So okay. So at the end they suddenly defied the stereotypes a bit. Okay, and everything is correct. That was pretty straightforward. Okay, this is actually not not an activity that you have to complete because there's no space here for a check mark or a exclamation mark. So it's kind of more, it's a game. Here, this word игра is game. I want, ... drag pictures of food to the picture of the girl and pictures of drinks to the picture of a man and see what happens. Okay, let's see what happens if we take, for example, суп без хлеба. So soup without bread. Huh? Oh, okay. It changes the picture of her a little bit. All right. Salat без масла, salad without meat, I think. Okay, and it doesn't change it anymore. Торт с шоколадом, cake with chocolate. Oh, I see. She starts to put on weight. She gets a bit... Oh, I see. Okay, salad without meat makes her thin. So as you start giving her more of this, she becomes so thin that eventually a balloon can lift her up. And then if you give her something fattening like cake, then she starts to put on weight. Pizza с сыром и беконом. Pizza with cheese and bacon. Am I interpreting that correctly? Maybe bacon is not what I think it is. I mean, obviously it looks like bacon, but maybe it's something else. So I see. So that makes her fatter. Okay, I see. Цезарь без курицы. So Caesar salad without chicken makes her thinner. Chai без десерта. Tea without dessert makes her thinner. Okay, well anyway, so I guess these are just stereotypes about what foods make you gain weight and lose weight. So anyway, you can have fun with that if you like. Here we go. Here's a gentleman who has a very dapper sort of look about him. He's very sort of hipster chic. So here we have vodka с пивом, vodka with beer. And oh, I see. And this makes him get more and more drunk, and he eventually passes out drunk. Here we have chai с limonom. Okay, and that sobers him up, so he clears up, and then oh, and suddenly he becomes wait, what? Okay, so I like this progression. This is pretty funny. So here's him in his normal state. If you give him some tea with lemon, he suddenly becomes a very, intellectual, sort of refined gentleman with a monocle and is holding his cup of tea in his hand. And then if you go further, he suddenly becomes an angel. Okay, and that's the highest state that he can attain. If you have martini so ljdom. What's ljd? Oh, probably ljdom is the olive. Actually, I don't know if that's olive. I assume it is. So he kind of goes in different directions. Whiskey, skoloi, probably whiskey with ice. Yeah, then he gets more drunk. And кофе без сахара, coffee without sugar, that sobers him up again. And then gin с тоником, gin and tonic, or gin with tonic. So this is the progression of a human being. You go from this is him in his worst state when he's passed out drunk, and here's when he's basically homeless, in an alley somewhere, and here he's just a little bit drunk, or a little bit woozy, and then here he's normal, and then suddenly becomes a fine English gentleman with his tea, and then finally at the end he's an angel giving a thumbs up with a halo. All right. Well, that's just a fun little thing, I guess. I guess it helps you learn the names of some of these foods and drinks, which is the point. But anyway, all right, let's move on. Now we have a dialogue that's a bit different. It's once again these multiple choice things, so you don't drag in the words. Instead, you have questions, and you have to pick the correct answer from the list. So listen to the dialogue and choose the correct answers.
Алло, сынок, здравствуй, как ты?
Мам, привет, все хорошо.
Где ты был вчера? Я звонила тебе домой.
Мам, я вчера ходил в кино с Тиной.
Тина? Кто это?
Мам, это моя коллега, мы работаем вместе.
Это твоя девушка, да?
Нет, она просто работает со мной, а вчера был интересный фильм, вот мы и ходили в кино.
А как у тебя дела с Мариной? Месяц назад ты с ней ходил в театр.
С Мариной, мам, это было месяц назад.
А с кем ты пойдешь в музей через месяц? С Ириной?
Нет, через месяц я пойду в музей с тобой.
Посмотрим.
Ну ладно, все, мам, пока.
Okay, so again, a little bit awkward, but not super awkward. So basically, John's talking to his mother, and he says they're going to the cinema together, and the mother asks who he's going with, and he gives the name of a woman, and the mother starts asking, "Oh, is she your girlfriend?" And he says, "No, Mom, she's just a coworker." Okay, so let's see if we can answer these questions. John ходил в кино. He goes to the kino, to the cinema. What was the woman's name again?
Алло, сынок, здравствуй, как ты?
Мам, привет, все хорошо.
Где ты был вчера? Я звонила тебе домой.
Мам, я вчера ходил в кино с Тиной.
С Tiной. So I guess Tina is her name? С Tiной. Okay, that's the answer to that. Yeah, Tina. Tina, это, and then the options are ее коллега. Oh, I see, they're all коллега, but this is her colleague, this is their colleague, and that's his colleague. Well, obviously, Tina is his colleague. I mean, presumably Tina's a woman herself, but John appears to be a man, and so you would say его коллега, it's his colleague, she's his colleague. Okay, John ходил в театр. Месяц назад. A month ago, or in a month, or something like that, wasn't it? Yeah, it's past tense because he ходил. Once again, the L means past tense here, so через месяц would mean in a month. So it's not через, it's назад. He went into the theater a month ago, so it's месяц назад. John ходил в театр. Did he go with, I guess, Marina? Did he go with or without Marina? I think that was... hold on, let's see. What's the last question? John пойдет в музей к маме от мамы с мамой. He goes to the museum to his mother, from his mother, or with his mother. Well, that's pretty obvious. The last one's the only one that makes sense. I mean, yeah, you wouldn't say... You can say you go to your mother, but you don't say you go to the museum to your mother or to the museum from your mother. Maybe to the museum from your mother's place, but I'm pretty sure he said he was going with his mother. So that part I'm pretty sure about. And then, did he go with Marina, or without her? I think he went with, didn't he? Yeah, okay, so everything was correct. We got that correct. Listening exercises are very tough. I don't know about you folks, but I think most people find that understanding spoken speech that way, like in these listening exercises, is much harder than reading something, because when you're reading something, you can always stop and look at a word and think about what the word means, but when it's a spoken dialogue, it just keeps going and you can't really stop it. Well, I mean, you can, of course you can stop it, but you can't dwell on the words in the same way you can with written text. So I personally find spoken dialogues much harder than reading written text. So you folks, if you want some listening practice, then you can listen to it again. I'm not going to play the rest of the thing through. You should probably play it yourself and get some practice listening to it. Let's move on. Now we have nouns in the instrumental case. So what is the instrumental case? It's actually relatively simple, as it says here in the box at the top. Instrumental case answers questions like kim, and chim, and, it is easy to guess, is used to express the concept of an instrument. So it doesn't necessarily have to be an instrument like a musical instrument. I guess in English, instrument can also imply something very fine-tuned, like a scientific instrument or a musical instrument. But no, this is more like the implement, the tool or the thing that you do something with, or the object that you use to perform a verb. So if you look at the examples here, Konstantin writes with a pencil. So pencil is construed here in the instrumental case because Konstantin is doing his verb with the pencil. The pencil is the object, it's the instrument he's using. And similarly, Yegor Petrovich eats his salad with a fork. So again, the fork is his instrument. So very straightforward. And down here, it also mentions instrumental is often used with the preposition s, which again is with, in case you forgot. So it's often used with the preposition with, s, to indicate that the subject does anything together with an object. So for example, Natalia went to the theater with her brother. Brother in this case is done in the instrumental case, even though he's obviously not an instrument. She didn't use the brother as a tool or as some kind of implement to get something done. But if you're doing something together with someone or together with something, that's typically also the instrumental case. Similarly, Alexander drinks coffee with milk. I mean, it's a mixture of coffee and milk, but because they go together, you construe milk after the with, you say with milk, and then put milk in the instrumental case. So interestingly enough, you notice if you look at the English translations here, both of these styles put the verb after with in the instrumental case. What I find interesting is that in Russian, though, the first form doesn't use with. So you can see down here in the second form, there is a s, and again, s is with in Russian. So with the brother, with milk, then okay, that's pretty straightforward. That's instrumental case. But here, there is no s. So there's no with. Konstantin пишет карандашом. There's no with pencil. Instead, the instrumental case gives it away that it means he's using the pencil. He's using that pencil as a tool or as an instrument to do his writing. So Russian, interestingly, even though in English uses the word with for both of these styles of the instrumental case, in Russian, it doesn't use with for the first form. I'm wondering if this is another case where the language has kind of evolved in a parallel sort of way, such that even though Russian lost the with, it still is cognate with the English use of the word with. I don't know that for a fact, maybe some linguists can confirm that, but there are interesting things like that where languages went in different directions but still retained features of each other, and so you can still see that Russian uses the same form for both English forms of with, even though Russian lost the word with in one of those forms. Anyway, moving on. Oh, I didn't actually look at the forms. Hold on. If I open up this, here we go. Here's the list of nouns in the instrumental case. Do we have a huge, yeah, here we go. Here's a big, here is a big list of endings. And once again, don't beat yourself up trying to memorize all of these all at once. Do it for a little while. Get some practice in doing these things. Don't try to just memorize these lists all at one go, because it will be extremely frustrating for you, and you probably won't remember all the details anyway. So, but you can see, so like for masculine things, on, so you know, things that, masculine verbs, they typically end in There are exceptions, like muj becomes muzhim. And then feminine nouns usually take oi at the end, except for there are some exceptions like zhenya becomes zhenye. And then ana is usually or yem. Yeah, there are no animate neuter gender nouns, that is true. So yeah, I'm not going to dwell on this too long. I mean, again, you can look at this yourself if you like, but let's go ahead and go forward and see how this works out in practice. Let's do some exercises and see how we can actually apply these a little bit, test ourselves a bit and see how well we can do these. So study the table instrumental case and complete the words with the correct endings. Use the on-screen keyboard. I'm not going to use the on-screen keyboard. I'm going to use my real keyboard because I can fumble around with the keys until I find the correct Cyrillic characters. So, вчера мы ели пиццу. So yesterday we ate pizza with pomidor y sir, with tomatoes and cheese. So, pomidor is is pomodoro, actually I don't know, pomodoro just ends with R, so it's probably masculine, right? So it should be hold on, what ending does that take? Oh, I see. This is plural. Okay, I get it. So part one here is for singular, and then down here we have part two for plural. And we'll be using the plural here because they didn't eat a pizza with 1 tomato and 1 cheese. Actually, cheese is obviously not a countable noun in English usually, and I don't think it is in Russian either. So let's assume that both of these are plural. Or actually, no, wait, is that? I'm wrong again. I think tomatoes are plural and then cheese is construed in the singular. I think that's how it works. Don't ask me why. That's just something you have to learn. Don't ask me why. Well, tomatoes plural I can understand because, like I said, there wasn't just 1 tomato on the pizza. You would say also in English, you'd say pizza with tomatoes, not pizza with a tomato. That would be kind of silly. So, okay, so tomato. So pomodoro is masculine, I believe, because it ends in a consonant. So according to this, then we should add ami, A-M-I, or A-M-E. Is that correct? So pomodorami. I believe that is correct. Y sir, cheese ends with... Oh, cheese is singular. I think we're doing cheese singular in this case, so should be then, right? Yeah, sirom, I believe. Yeah, I believe that's correct. I sir There we go. Okay. Сегодня я с подруг иду в театр. Today I with female friend, not necessarily girlfriend, but like a friend who is a female, idu v teatr. So I went to the theater with my friend, and since this is it's podrug, yeah, exactly. So it's podruga, and so that becomes podrugoi, as do most other feminine words. Most feminine words become in the singular. Remember, we're talking singular. He didn't go with multiple girlfriends. He went with 1 girlfriend, presumably. So singular, feminine noun, it becomes oi. 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 Yes, okay. So he went s podrugой в театр. Okay. So far, so good. Кто хочет воду с газ? Who wants water with gas? Well, we can cheat a little bit and look up here because I think we already had this. Where was it here? Oh, this was без газа. I think that's different. You wouldn't say, let's see. It's без газа, but без doesn't invoke the instrumental case. That invokes a different case. So in this case, since it's gaz, it's with gas. Gaz ends in a z, which is pretty sure that's a consonant, so it should end in right? Yeah, I believe that is correct. So it's gazom. There we go. Vodos gazom, water with gas, i.e. carbonated water, sparkling water. Моя мама любит мороженое с шоколад. My mom or my mama likes oh, right, ice cream. Moroženje likes ice cream with chocolate. Okay. Chocolade is obviously it ends in a D, and that's a obviously a consonant, so this should also be right? I think so. See, I'm already, I don't know about you, but I'm already starting to get into the swing of things. I'm already starting to get used to the idea that if it's just a regular masculine noun that ends in a consonant, it's and then, okay, if it's feminine, then it's oi. That's pretty straightforward, right? And I mean, there are obviously other forms, but these are probably the most common ones. So let's see if this breaks the trend or if this continues. Mark не хочет работать с клиент. Mark does not want to work with the client, and client ends in a consonant. It's masculine, so it's с клиентом. Doesn't want to work with the client. Он хочет отдыхать с девушкой в клубе. Okay. Девушка is a girl. It ends in an A. It's девушка. So since it's feminine, this should be once again ой. Он хочет отдыхать с девушкой в клубе. He wants to go out with a girl into a club. I know that feel, bro. Okay, это мясо с гарнир. It is meat with garnish. And garnir is a word that what is the singular form of garnir? I believe it is just garnir, right? I think it ends in a consonant. So this should be garnirom. Это мясо с гарниром. It's meat with garnish. У него есть телефон с камера. Yeah, it's camera. So obviously feminine because it ends in an A. So this should be then, once again, oi. Dictaphone. I honestly don't know what is a dictaphone. I guess a dictation device. Dictation device. So like you can talk into the phone and it will detect your voice and write for you what you're saying. So I believe that is also, it's just dictaphone, I think. It ends, I really don't, this is not a common word, I don't think, but it probably ends in an N, like telephone. So then, because it ends in a consonant, this should be, once again, dictaphonom. Should put OM on the end for a masculine word. And then player, a player. That's, I guess it also ends in, I guess it's just player, and it ends in again a consonant, so this should be then, once again, У него есть телефон с камерой, диктофоном, плеером. He has a telephone with a camera, a dictaphone, and a player. Is that like a music player, or this is really not a sentence that you would use very. I really think these are not words that you use very often in Russian. Like who says, "Wow, man, my phone, my telephone has a dictaphone on it and a player. You can play things with it," because that's something that most phones don't do. Okay, moving on. В России очень популярны блины с. Okay, so in Russia, very popular blini, pancakes. Well, blin is a very special, well, it's not very special, but it's a specific sort of Russian pancake, which is very thin. Russian pancakes tend to be quite small, and they're marked by being very thin. That's the Russian style, small and thin pancakes, and they're called blin in Russian. Blin is singular and blini is plural. And if you feel like you've heard that word in a different context before, yes, Russians also say blin, the same word, as a kind of a curse word. It's not a dirty word. It's not a very strong profanity, but it is kind of like, it's like, darn it, darn, that's really that makes me angry. So blin, literally pancake, or a type of pancake, is kind of used as a relatively clean exclamation in Russian. And then if you want to be more dirty, if you want to be more obscene and offensive, then you say bliet. Bliet is the more common sort of ugly, vulgar Russian obscenity. Don't say that to your mother. Don't say that to somebody's mother or grandma. It's not a nice word. Don't say that in polite company. In general, don't say bliet at all to women. Among men, it's usually okay. Men will say it to each other, but don't say it when you're in the company of a lady, because that's she may actually get offended by that. So be a gentleman, and unless you are a lady. I mean, if you are a lady, then you probably shouldn't say it. Actually, I don't know what. Anyway, moving on. Blinis ikra. Oh, caviar. Caviar, that's another Russian thing. Caviar is very popular in Russia. In the West, caviar is seen as a luxurious, expensive food. In Russia, everybody eats caviar constantly, and it's not expensive. It's very widely available in Russia, and it's seen as like a staple food almost. It's common. It's not a luxury. It's not something associated with luxury. It's a very common food. I believe it's ikra. So then in this case, since it's feminine, since it ends in a, then it becomes ikroi. Yes, в России очень популярны блины с икрой. Blin, pancakes with caviar. That is true. That is very popular in Russia. I can confirm. Okay, John был в кино с Tin, в театр с Marin, в музей с Mom. Okay, so these are all women. And I believe they all end in a. So you have Tina, here's Tina, you have Marina, and then Mama. So theoretically they would be all oi, right? He goes with Tinoi, he goes with Marinoi, and he goes with Mamoi. And I am pretty sure that's correct. So he went to the cinema with Tina, went to the theater with Marina, and then he went to the museum with Mom, or Mama. Утром босс пьет кофе с молока. In the morning, boss drank coffee with milk. And this is a special case, isn't it? It's, what's молоко? It's, yeah, here we go. It shows you here. Молоко ends in an O, and so it becomes молоком. It's good that it's nice for them to have this here. That makes it easier. I mean, obviously in the real world, you wouldn't have a list for every possible word in Russian, but it's nice that they put that there, so it's less frustrating. This lesson is so far a lot less frustrating than some previous lessons that we've already had. So, с молоком. Утром босс пьет кофе с молоком. Once again, in the morning, boss drank coffee with milk. Мария живет с муж уже 4 месяца. Marina lives with a man. This literally means lives with man. I don't know if that means she lives with a man, or does it mean she lives with her husband, because husband is also muž or something like that in Russian. So I'm actually not sure, does this mean she's living with just any random man, like she's living with a man, or does she live with her husband? But anyway, it's muž is also a special case. What's muž? Yeah, here we go. Muziem. Muž becomes smuziem. She lives smuziem. So, yes. Marina живет с мужем уже 4 месяца. Maria already lives with a man, or her husband, already for 4 months, or since 4 months ago. And finally, Lydia курит сигарет с ментол. Lydia kurit she smokes cigarettes with menthol. Again, menthol is not a common word. I don't think I use it in my native language very frequently, so it's probably not surprising that I am not too familiar with the word in Russian, but I'm pretty sure it ends in L, or at least in a consonant. Yeah, I believe it ends in L, so it should be then once again right? And it was correct. We got everything right. That actually wasn't too bad. I am pleasantly surprised after having some lessons where I really was just ready to jump out the window. This is actually going quite well so far, and as you can see from the scroll bar here on the side, we're already something like halfway through the lesson. So hopefully, hopefully our luck keeps up. What do we have ahead of us? Here's some information, and okay, looks interesting. All right, let's see how it goes. But so far, so good. So far, this has been actually quite reasonable. And here's more of the same, actually. I don't know why they put this into a separate exercise, because it's actually the same thing again, but мы с клиент идем в ресторан. So we, with the client, walk to the restaurant. So again, it's клиентом, because клиент is, it ends in a consonant, so it's masculine. So клиентом. Они живут как кошка с собак. Sabaka ends in an A. It's sabaka, so I guess in this case, since it's instrumental, it should be sabakoi, right? Они живут как кошка с собакой. They live like cats with dogs, or cat with a dog, so I am going to assume that means they don't get along. They probably means they fight a lot. Сегодня утром она говорила с врач. So, сегодня, today, утром, in the morning, она говорила, she spoke с врач, with the doctor. And врач is masculine, so this becomes врачом. Она говорила с врачом. So, today morning, this morning, in English you'd say this morning. This morning she spoke with doctor. Either with a doctor or with the doctor. Он не хочет жить с мамой. And once again, mama becomes mamoi. He does not want to live with mom, for whatever reason. Завтра я пойду с брат в цирк. Tomorrow I will go с брат. Yeah, brat is obviously masculine because it's brother, so с братом в цирк. Tomorrow I go with my brother to the circus. I wonder if he's going to, or maybe she, I wonder if this person's going to leave their brother at the circus. Yes. Все лето дети были на даче с бабушкой. Probably babu. So at this point I'm already getting used to it. So babushka is obviously feminine, so babushkoi. И дедушка. Dedushka is Dedushka is I think it's another special case. Do they cover that here? It's kind of special. It's a little bit special just in the sense that it refers to a man. Dedushka is grandpa, but even though it refers to a man, the word itself is still feminine because it ends in A, and so you do the same thing here as you did with babushka. Babushka becomes babushkoi, dedushka becomes dedushkoi. So watch out for stuff like that. It's a little bit counterintuitive if you expect the actual gender of the word to correspond to the actual gender of the person, but in this case it doesn't. So, лето, the whole summer, дети были, children were, на даче, at the dacha, which I think I've explained before is like a Russian summer home, с бабушкой и дедушкой, with grandma and grandpa. Okay. В августе мы ездили на море с Okay, druz is a special case. This is one that we're not going to get with the forms that we've seen so far. Where's druz? Some druzy here. With friends. Do we even have it here? It's obviously plural because drug is friend singular, but obviously druzia or whatever it is we don't seem to have it here, but what we do have is here we see words. So in this section, I'm sorry. Yeah, here we go. In this section we see words that end in ya, like druzia. So druzia, again, is friends, and you can see here when the word ends in ya, then you change it to yami. So that's actually fairly consistent here in the sense that that does apply here. So it's yummy. В августе мы ездили на море с друзьями. In August, we went to sea, to the ocean, or to a lake or whatever, with friends. Почему вы не любите обедать с коллег? Colleague. Is this supposed to be colleagues, or is that colleague singular? Actually don't know. It doesn't show up in I actually don't know if is this supposed to be one colleague or several. Well, okay, I'll cheat a little bit. The answer that I have here is kollegoi, so I guess it's with a female colleague, but how would you know? Because if you don't see the ending, you could also assume it's a male. It could be colleague, which is like a male colleague, isn't it? Don't know. Okay, I'm not too worried about it. Why do you not like to eat lunch with colleague? Okay, I'm pretty sure that's correct. I don't know how you're supposed to know that's a female colleague, or is that a female colleague, or is it? Okay. I'm not going to dwell on it. If you're really curious, you can look up the word and see the form of it, but that's individual case, which I'm not going to dwell on too long. В декабре я поеду с родитель в горы. So родитель, it's once again yummy. Yeah, it's because it's plural. It's my parents. Do we have родитель here? Don't seem to, but I believe it's родителя. Or is it родитель? Because if it ends in soft sign, it's also yummy. I'm not sure. I don't. What is parents? That's kind of an important word. I just want to make sure I have the plural of parents correct. Parents in Russian is родители. Okay, it's родители. So something that ends in an E. Am I missing it? I don't think I'm missing it. I think I actually don't have it here. Okay, that I think is another special case. All right, I'm not going to worry about it. Let's not get too bent out of shape over it. It's родителями. So once again, the same yummy. В декабре, in December, я поеду, I go с родителями, with parents, в горы, in the mountains, or to the mountains. And finally, преподаватель, so студент ходил в музей. This is, I'm pretty sure this is students, plural. I'm pretty sure he didn't take a single student to the museum. So do we have students here under plurals? No, we do not. What is students in Russian? Students is studenty with that crazy "y" on the end. And we don't have that here. So now it gets more frustrating. Now it would be really frustrating if you've already gotten this far and you're on a roll and you really are getting it. Then suddenly you say, well, how am I supposed to know what studente becomes? How do I know how to turn this into the instrumental case? Well, I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know why it is. I can just tell you it's studentami. If I can find... Wait, where's the... Suddenly forgot how to type in Russian. There we go. Преподаватель, the teacher. So studentami, with students. Ходил в музей, went to museum. Okay. A little bit frustrating there at the end. Don't know why some of those answers are the way they are. Again, I guess for some words you just have to know it. There are some words that either break the rule or maybe don't even have a rule, and you just have to know. For some words you just have to know what the form is. If they are common words like students, probably that's a pretty common word which you'll need to use often in Russian, so it will probably be a benefit to you to know words like that. Words like, what words did we have here? I mean, common foods like tomatoes and potatoes and tea and coffee and whatever. I mean, those are probably good things to know. Oh yeah, dictaphonem. Pretty sure that at this point in time you don't need to worry too much about, well, it's a pretty simple word anyway, but I'm pretty sure you don't need to worry about stuff like that. But I mean, common words like family members, foods, things like that, those are probably good to learn. Okay, and now we come to verbs of motion. Verbs of motion are special because they have two different forms. Or even three actually, because the past. So I'll try to explain this table. So let's start at the top. You have the basic verb iti, to walk by foot, to walk on foot. So you see in the left column there it says vчера. That means yesterday, but it doesn't have to be yesterday. It just means past tense. If you're using the word in the past tense, then it has, again, that all-important L form. So something like anchadil, anachadila. Those are past tense forms. That's pretty easy to figure out. It's pretty easy to understand past tense. What's not so easy to understand is the difference between сегодня and завтра. Okay, it looks, you might think it's pretty straightforward. Сегодня means today and завтра means tomorrow, so you might think it's just the difference between present and future tense, right? That simple? It's not quite that simple. Verbs of motion in Russian, this is what makes these verbs very special, because they're the only types of verbs in Russian that have this. They have, does it explain it here? They might not explain it here because they don't want to make it too complicated. But basically, the way it's often phrased in English is verbs of motion are unidirectional and multidirectional. What's the difference? It's kind of the difference between, in English, if you're a native English speaker and you've ever studied German, or vice versa, if you're a native German speaker and you've ever studied English, you might be familiar with how difficult it is to communicate the concept of immediate tense. I think it's called, how difficult it is to translate that directly into a language like German, for example. In English, there's a difference between I walk and I am walking. If you're a native English speaker, think about that for a bit. I walk, it seems pretty straightforward, you walk. But what's the difference between I walk and I am walking? If you say I walk, that doesn't necessarily mean you're walking right now. It just means that you walk on a regular basis. Or like if you say I drive a taxi, as opposed to I am driving a taxi. If you say I drive a taxi, it doesn't mean that you're in the taxi right now. It just means you do it for a living, that you're probably describing your job and you say, okay, I drive a taxi. That's probably what you do on a regular basis, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be doing it right now. But if you say I am driving a taxi, that's something different. That generally implies that you are in the taxi, you're in the driver's seat right now driving the taxi. That's the difference. German does not have this distinction, and that's why native German speakers struggle with this when they're learning English, because this is a concept that doesn't really exist in German at all. Russian doesn't either. Russian does the German thing with most of its verbs in that it eliminates this distinction, except for these verbs of motion. So, in these verbs of motion, if you look again at the first line there, you see under сегодня it says я иду. That is cognate to the English I am walking. And then я пойду. Is that correct? Actually, I might be wrong about that because I think there's actually a different conjugation for that. Have I gotten ahead of myself? Maybe it really is as simple as present tense and future tense. Okay, we'll return to this later. Maybe I got ahead of myself and explained something too early, but just so that I didn't waste this complete explanation, just try to keep that in mind. There is a difference in Russian. There is a difference between so-called unidirectional travel, which basically means I'm going from point A to point B. I am making this travel right now. I am walking, or I am running, or flying, or sailing, or swimming, or whatever. There's a difference between that form in Russian, and then there's a different form for I walk. I do it on a regular basis. I might not be doing it right now, but it's something that I do. It's something that I probably will be doing soon in the future on a not necessarily daily, but at least regular basis. So that's kind of the difference between these. I'll get more into that later. It looks like they're starting off simple and not covering that here at all. So let's leave that thought to the side for a moment. And sorry I got ahead of myself. I'll come back. I'm sure we'll come back to that later. That will definitely pop up again in these lessons pretty soon. But in the meantime, какой глагол, which word? С кем ты вчера something в кино? So с кем, with whom? With whom are you? With whom did you go to the cinema yesterday? So let's see. This is it Hadil or Hadili? Hadil would be for. I think it's Hadili, because Hadil would be for he went, and Hadil means he walked, but probably talking about two people as a group, I guess, even though it's ty means you personally, it doesn't mean you plural, it means you personally, but I believe the answer here is still Hadili. So, мы сегодня something в бар. So, do we have here мы? Yes, we do. So, is it idiom or idut? Yeah, мы идем. You can see there, it's for present tense, it's мы идем. And I believe that that's correct, although actually... Information I have here seems to indicate that it's actually мы... Oh wait, hold on. Did I mess this up? Hold on, let me check again. I think I might have messed this up. I'm sorry, I'm an idiot. This was Hadil after all. Ты вчера ходил в кино. I misinterpreted the information I had. I'm sorry. This is Hadil. I'm an idiot. And then мы сегодня, once again, judging by the information above here, should be idiom. Yes, it is idiom. Okay, there we go. Мы сегодня идем в бар. By the way, just as a funny joke, I just remembered something funny. Notice how for an and ana, so for he and she, it's idiot. There is a joke that you can make in Russian, because the Russian word for idiot is also idiot. So if you say on idiot, it's kind of it can mean two things. I mean, the spelling is different, but the pronunciation is very similar. So it can, if in spoken speech, it can basically mean he is coming, or he's going, or but it can also mean he's an idiot. Just reminded me of that. That's something I once heard in Russian. Kind of funny. If you ask an idiot, is he coming? Then it sounds like you're saying, is he an idiot? Anyway, moving on. Они завтра something в цирк. So tomorrow, Ani, so what do we have here for Ani? Poidut, right? Yeah, it's not Khadili. It's Khadili would be past tense. Yeah, exactly. Khadili would be včera, but zavtra is tomorrow. So tomorrow it's poidut. So Ani zavtra poidut v cirk. Tomorrow they go to the park. And I keep saying go, but now with this table we can be a little bit more precise, because you can see there are different words for to go on foot and to go by transport. The second word is used very generally for pretty much any kind of ground transit, whether it's by a train or a bus or a car. There is a different word for flying, like with an airplane. There is a different word for sailing or swimming on a boat. But this word yichat is basically for pretty much any kind of wheeled ground transit or transport. So if we say poidut, then we see that, poidut is above here. So if they're going by transport, then it would be poiedut. But it's not poiedut, it's poidut, which means they go on foot. So again, I'm saying in English they go, but now we can be more precise and say they're going on foot to the circus. They are not taking some sort of transit. They're not taking some sort of wheeled transport to the circus. Okay, moving on. Вы something вечером в театр. Were you yesterday in the theater? So the question, or did you go yesterday to the theater? So the question is it пойдете or пойдем? Sorry. I think I said yesterday, but that would be вчера. Вчером would be yesterday, but this is вечером, which means this evening, today in the evening. So that's actually in the future. So we look, what's the future tense for вы пойдете and вы поедете. Okay, so then this one is correct. It's вы пойдете вечером в театр. And once again, since it's пойдете, which is up here, we can see they're going on foot. Or the question asks if you're going on foot. The question is not about going by transport. The question is asking, are you walking tonight to the theater? Okay, неделю назад она something в салон красот. I think that means a week ago she went to the beauty salon. So for Anna, since this is past tense, well, since it's past tense, that should tell you right away that there should be an L in the conjugation. So it should be Khadila, because pойдет doesn't have an L to connote the past tense. So Khadila must be, but yeah, you can also see here Anna Khadila. So she walked to the beauty salon. Через месяц я something на концерт. In a month I will пойду. Yes. Yeah, пойду. Идешь would be you go. So я пойду. I go. Кто something в этот клуб? Who's going to this club? So in this case, yeah, it could be a little bit difficult if you're not sure, because in this case it's there's no ya or ты or вы or on or она. So the question is, what conjugation do you use? But I think if it's кто, you just use third person singular, like an or она. So it should be then, if I'm not mistaken, should be идет. Yes, it is. So it's an or она идет. So again, when you just say кто, who's going, then you use the third person singular. So кто идет в этот клуб? Почему ты не something завтра на балет? Why were you why are завтра is tomorrow, so why will you not be? Why will you not be tomorrow in the ballet? So Hadil is That's past tense again, but this is future tense, so it should be pойдешь. And we can see, yes, ты пойдешь is future tense for you. Why will you not be in the belay? Ты пойдешь. Где наши клиенты? Where are our clients or customers? Они уже something в office. They are already in, or they already went to the office. So, они, or they are already going to the office, right? So, они is, so this is then present tense, I believe. So it could be either они идут if they're taking transit, but that's not one of the options. So then it should be они идут. Они идут. They are walking to the office. So here we go. Они идут в office. Okay, and last one. Magda nie something вчера в ресторан. Magda was not yesterday in the restaurant. And again, because this is past tense, it should be clear just based on the L at the end. L makes past tense, so it should be ходила, right? Yes, indeed. Okay, and we got everything correct. That's nice. I like it when a plan comes together. But now it's more of the same thing. We're not really done. We have more of, so we have one more exercise like that, and then this thing to cap us off, and we're done. So, okay, we're getting there. So, once again, what word do we use? С кем вы something через неделю в Санкт-Петербург? With whom are you going next week to St. Petersburg? So it's вы, and it is future. So what's the future? The future can either be пойдете or поедете. So it should be then, yeah, it's not ездили, that would be again past tense. So поедете, that should be correct. Месяц назад мы уже something в London. So a month ago, we were already in London, or we already went to London. So, мы, past tense, we actually don't have, I think the trick here is that you're going to assume, I think you're going to assume that they took transit. So obviously it's theoretically possible. Yes, it's obviously physically possible to walk to London from wherever. But I think the idea here is that you should intuitively guess that they took transit. They took some kind of, well, I mean, they could have very well flown. If they flew with an airplane, then there's actually a different verb of motion to use for that. But let's assume that they didn't walk on foot all the way from Russia to London. Which actually, now that I think about it, I don't think you can do, because London is obviously on Great Britain, which is an island. And yeah, I know there's the Channel, but I don't think there are footways through the Channel. I think you can only take a train through the Channel or cars or something, but there is actually no footpath to Great Britain from continental Europe. So you would have to take transit unless you walk on the train tracks, which some people actually do, but that's another story. Okay, so we should then assume that it's the second form here, not to go by foot, but to go by transport, in which case it would then be ездили, right? Because, yeah, it's not very clear, but поехали, I'm pretty sure would be to go on foot. So yeah, so ездил is the past form of going with transit. So let's go ahead and say that it's ездили. I'm pretty sure that's the correct answer there. Ездили to London. You took some kind of transit to London. You didn't walk all the way to London. Она сейчас something в аэропорт. She now едем or едет? Едет, because едем is for we. Мы едем. But она едет. She едет to the airport. So she is also taking transit. She's not walking. She's taking transit to the airport. Ты something завтра за город. Are you going tomorrow to the city? And ты usually ends with a sh. So I'm going to assume Ты, yeah, pretty sure it's the second one, поедешь, because ты usually conjugates with a sh on the end, like I said. So, нет, не something, я буду дома. No, not, okay, I guess no, I am not going, I stay home. Or I will be home. Yeah, я буду дома means I will be at home. So, я поеду or я ездил? Should be поеду because this is future tense. This is saying I will be at home, so я поеду. Нет, не поеду. No, I do not go. I will be at home. Мартин, something в театр на метро. Okay, на метро, so that's very clear. He's using transit. He's using the metro, the subway, or the underground. So on едет. Not еду, that would be я еду. But on едет. So on едет. Next. Maria, something на такси. Once again, yeah, very clear. She's doing it right now, and she's obviously a taxi is some kind of wheeled transport. She's not going on foot, so она едет once again. Он раньше никогда не something на море с мамой. So this is about an on, third person singular. So it should then be I believe then that this should be this is past tense, isn't it? Let me see. Let me just check that. I'm silly enough that I actually don't know. Oh yeah, I didn't know what раньше is. Yeah, раньше means previously or before or earlier. So он раньше никогда. So previously he never went to the sea with mom. Okay, so once again, since it's past tense, you should take the one with the L on the end. So ездил. There we go. Кто something сегодня вечером в новый клуб? Who is going today evening to the new club? Again, since it's кто, a question with кто, you use the third person singular. So it's then поедет, because it's future tense. So future is поедет. Isn't it? Pretty sure it's поедет. Let me just check that to make sure. Yes, it is поедет, because it's future. Okay, fine. Алло, да, хорошо, я уже something домой. Hello, yes, okay, I am already going home. So, я еду or я поеду? Я поеду is future. So, present tense, I go is я еду. I'm already going home, я еду. Я уже еду домой. I'm already going home. Мой друзья в июле something в Rio de Janeiro. Aha. Rio de Janeiro, of course, in South America. So, my friends, I am going to very strongly assume with, I think, pretty good reason that these friends are not walking all the way to Rio de Janeiro. So let's go ahead and assume, actually, you wouldn't even take wheeled transit, you would fly. Unless you're already in the Western Hemisphere, but it's actually, this is a bit, you wouldn't really, who's going to take, even if you live in like North America, who's going to take transit through all of Central America to get to South America? You wouldn't do that, you would fly. Or maybe take a boat, but okay, let's not get too picky. So you have ездили, which is, which would be past tense. Oh, we don't know. I don't know if this is past tense or future. It says, my friends, they went in July, but we don't know what time he's speaking. So is this past or future tense? We don't know. What's поедем? Okay, well, that's nonsense. It can't be поедем because that's we. And he's not speaking about them. He's not including himself as a group. If he was saying, I and my friends are going or went, then that would be мы, that would be we. But since I think he's speaking about them separately as a group, you wouldn't include yourself, so you wouldn't say поедем. So ездили. So it was actually past tense. Okay, ездили is past tense. So he's saying my friends in July went to Rio de Janeiro. Ездили. Okay. And finally, его родители через год something в Китае. So his parents in a year will go to China. And that is third person plural because it's his parents. So his parents, future tense, could be either пойдут or поедут, not ездили because that would be past tense, so it must be then поедут. Good, and we got it all correct. That was also reasonably straightforward. And last one, look at the picture, listen to the audio and complete the text. Use the on-screen. Yeah, okay, so let's listen to the, actually before we listen to the audio, let's get an idea of what we're getting into by looking at the picture here. So if you look at the picture, we see, I'm just trying to figure out where the start is. Where does he start? So on the right side, you see him there behind a red M, which is the Russian symbol for a metro, like an underground transit system. So that's him at the metro. He goes from the metro to theater, to the theater, from there to the club, and then from there to, what is that symbol that is, I'm not quite catching what that symbol is that is in front of him on the left. And then he goes to a building which has no description on it. Is that his house? Maybe that's his house. I don't know. Then he goes from there to business center, business center, and then to restaurant. I don't know where the start is. Maybe the thing on the left is supposed to be like a checkered flag indicating a finish line. Maybe that's where he finishes. So then he starts from at, I have no idea. Let's listen to the audio and see what's going on.
Утром Петр идет в офис. В офисе он работает. Днем он идет в ресторан с Марией. В ресторане они обедают. Вечером Петр едет на метро в театр. В театре он слушает оперу. Потом он с Ириной идет в клуб. Там они отдыхают и пьют пиво. Ночью Петр едет на такси домой.
Okay, that's a taxi symbol. I have to... Oh, because taxis sometimes have those checkered stripes. Okay, I didn't catch that. Taxis sometimes have those checkered stripes on them, so that's a taxi symbol on the left. He goes by taxi to his house. Okay, so he starts off... So let me retrace... in case you didn't catch all that, I'll explain in English. If you didn't catch that, you should probably listen to it again so that you get practice listening to Russian and understanding spoken Russian, but... Excuse me, but I'll go ahead and explain in English. So he starts off at work. So I assume the business center at the top is his workplace where he started off. From there, he went to the restaurant. After that, he went by metro to the theater. Then he went to the club. And finally, from the club, he took a taxi to his house. So now we have things like когда, which means when. So options are утром, днем, вечером, and ночью. In the morning, during the daytime, in the evening, or at night. С кем, with whom, so with Maria or with Irina. He did one thing with Maria and one thing with Irina. Что делает, what do. Работать, work. Обедать, eat lunch. Слушать оперу, listen to opera. Отдыхать, go out or relax, and then пить пиво, drink beer. And then где, where, in the office, also в офисе, in the office, в ресторане, in the restaurant, and в театре, in theater. And что делает, again, идти, to walk, ехать на метро, to take metro as transit, and ехать на такси, to go by taxi. So, let's fill all this in. Oh boy, this can be pretty challenging if we're not ready for it. Fortunately, I have the answers in front of me, so I'll just go ahead. Rather than having us try to rack our brains getting the proper forms, I'll just go ahead and fill them in and I guess explain them as we go. It's actually, I guess it's not that, it might seem a bit intimidating at first because there's so much information you have to put in, but it's not that bad. So we start off in the morning, not surprisingly. So утром Петр идет. Идет. There we go. Утром Петр идет в офис. In the morning, Петр goes to the office on foot. And then, what does he do in the office? В офисе он работает. Where's A? There it is. Работает. В офисе он работает. In the office, he works. Днем Dnем, tagsüber, so during the day. On идет, you know what, just to speed things up, I'm going to copy and paste that from there since it's the same word. On идет в ресторан. We didn't, hold on.
Утром Петр идет в офис.
Oh, it's actually reading out the things, so we can actually, maybe we can just copy, just write down what the voice says. Утром Петр идет в офис.
В офисе он работает.
В офисе он работает. Okay, so yeah, we can actually just write down what the voice says.
Днем он идет в ресторан с Марией.
С Марией, okay. And I can probably actually just copy and paste this as well. Okay, then that makes it a bit easier. Днем он идет в ресторан с Марией. During the day, he walks to the restaurant with Maria.
В ресторане они обедают.
So, the V there was so subtle, I almost didn't hear it. I actually might not have even recognized that the voice was saying V if I didn't know that it was there. В ресторане. Why am I bothering to try and find the keys when I can just copy and paste from here? В ресторане what did he do? But we have to conjugate it. This is the non-conjugated form. Они, he had, or they had lunch. Okay, you'd have to conjugate this. I'll go ahead and just do it. It's обедай, not я, you, ют. There we go. Они обедают. In the restaurant, they eat lunch. Okay, moving on.
Вечером Петр
Okay, let's copy and paste that just to make it easier. So вечером.
едет на метро в театр.
Okay, вечером Петр идет на метро. Do we have на метро here? Yes, there we go. На метро в театр. So, вечером, in the evening, Петр идет на метро в театр. Peter walks. It's an interesting form because we're using идет, which is the form for he walks. Oh, the reason why is because I'm wrong. I'm actually wrong. I'm sorry. It's not идет. It is ехать. Okay, вечером Петр ехать на метро в театр. Okay, I was wrong. I put the wrong word because somehow I thought that it was idiot, even though it's obviously not, because I'm an idiot. No, it's вечером Петр ехать на метро в театр. In the evening, Peter ехать with the metro to the theater.
В театре он слушает оперу.
Okay, в театром, and we can just в театре, and again, I'll just copy and paste this. I mean, it's pretty clear what it is. In the theater, он слушает Oh, no, it's not слушает because that's, again, once again, the unconjugated form. We need to conjugate it for on. Он слушает. Where's T? There's T. Он слушает оперу.
Потом он с Ириной идет в клуб.
Потом он с Ириной, so with Irina, which is a common Russian woman's name, common Russian female name, с Ириной идет в клуб. So he, let's copy and paste again, why not? Идет в клуб. Потом он с Ириной идет в клуб. After that, he, with Irina, walks to the club.
Там они отдыхают и пьют пиво.
Окей, там они отдыхают и pьют пиво. There they relax and drink beer, but I need to, once again, I need to conjugate this for они, for they did something. So it's отдыхают. Yeah, отдыхают. And пьют пиво. Okay, and last one.
Ночью Петр едет на такси домой.
Okay, ночью. Ночью Питер oh, I put ехать here. Once again, this is the unconjugated form. It's actually едет. Едет. So this should have been едет, and then same thing here. Петр едет на такси. And there we go, lesson is completed. So, ночью Петр едет на такси домой. In the night, Peter travels or rides with a taxi to his home. So that was the thrilling journey of Peter. All right, that didn't go too badly. I'm actually quite pleased with how that lesson turned out. I was worried that would be a lot more difficult than it was because these verbs of motion are quite tricky sometimes. As I said, I think we'll see quite a bit more of them in the future. There are going to be lots of exercises relating to these verbs of motion because we still need to learn the other verbs for like flying and swimming and so on. So we'll get to that. But thanks for following along, everyone. I hope that this was informative and that it made sense. Personally, I feel that this lesson has gone a lot better than some of the other lessons that we had recently. Wow, I ran pretty long. I didn't even realize. I wasn't watching the clock, actually. This is about an hour and a half worth of video. Didn't realize it was going on for that long, but it went well, or at least I feel that it went well. So again, thank you for watching, everyone. I hope that I hope that you're enjoying our journey through the Russian language, and that we'll see you again for lesson 18 in the not too distant future. So until then, folks, thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you later.